Hey guys, welcome back to Elden Ring and welcome to Farum Azula. This is gonna be a bit of a speed run for Farum Azula. Not really, but I am going to run through it, unlike the other Legacy Dungeon episodes, where I sort of take my time and really try to explore as much as possible within reason. This is going to be the opposite of that, where I'm just trying to get through it as quickly as possible, just run through it, grab what looks like useful items and just be done with it. And the reason for that is I don't really like Farum Azula, by which I mean I don't like it at all. I think it's the worst part of the game for me. Yeah, that's why I don't take my time with it and I just sort of run through it. This is a sort of a guide on how to run through Farum Azula. If you are like-minded and don't really like it, you can use this to run through it if you don't know already. But yeah, I just traveled back to Round Table Hold. As you can see, Round Table Hold is kind of on fire. It's smoldering because we burned the Earth Tree, and they are evidently connected in some way, the Earth Tree and the Round Table Hold. But yeah, I came here to upgrade my weapon because I picked up some somber stones, not somber, smithing stone 8s. So I was able to get my Zweihander to plus 24. And then I figured, well, I might as well go to Nefeli and get the final upgrade stone, the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, because she gives you one at the end of her quest line. And you can also buy a second one from Gostock. And this is where I have to do a little bit of troubleshooting, because I traveled to Stormway Castle and Gostock is still here. He's not inside in the throne room. And you cannot purchase the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. Then I go to the throne room and figure out, oh wait, Nefeli's not here. That sucks, because Nefeli's questline is quite easy to break, and the fact that I killed Morgoth made me very, very afraid that I broke her questline. So that sucked. So I go back to the Round Table Hall, go down here where she was last time. Thankfully, she's still here, and I talked to her 3 times for some reason. I don't know why I talked to her 3 times, but she says the same thing. So I did give her the hawk, so she should be at Stormvale. So I travel back to the secluded cell, the bonfire or the site of grace before Godric, and then I rest there and I walk in. This is fairly common with Nefeli's questline, where you do everything right and she's still not there in the throne room, in which case you have to do a bit of creative troubleshooting like I did now. I traveled just outside of the boss room and rested, and she's here. Kenneth Haidt isn't here. He's supposed to be here as well, but I don't really care about that. What matters is that Nefeli is here and she gives me the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone. But yeah, if she's not here, you can either travel outside of the boss room and rest, or you can travel inside of the boss room and rest, or you can travel outside of the boss room and walk in to the boss room and rest at the Godric Site of Grace. And you know, just play around with that, and she should be there, provided that you did everything else right. I don't know why this happens, but it does. Anyway, yeah, here she is, giving us the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, so that was cool. And you know, this is why Nefeli's questline is good to complete, because she does give you that upgrade material, and she does also provide you with the opportunity to purchase a second one from Gostock here for 20,000 runes, I think. So that's helpful. I also like doing her questline because you can summon her for the Godfrey fight later on, which will happen next episode, I think. Yeah, definitely next episode. So that's also helpful, because I do struggle with Godfrey. I struggle with all of the sort of post Leyndell bosses, like the last third of the game or of the main story, or the last bit after Leyndell. I do struggle with those bosses. uh, including the fire giant. I did kill the fire giant first try, I think, last time, if I remember correctly. But I still struggle with it. I'm not comfortable with these bosses because, again, I do start this game more often than I finish it. So I'm way more familiar with the sort of the first half of the game, or the first third. But anyway, I did max out the Zweihunter. Here I am doing a gesture to signify joy that I finally am done with upgrading equipment. I still have to upgrade the seal, but that's not really a priority to me because I use it just for Scarlet Rot, and it works perfectly fine at +9. But yeah, so we're done with the weapon upgrades. Where the Zweihunter is maxed out, the Darkmoon Greatsword is maxed out, so all is well. But anyway, we're just running through Farum Azula right now. I don't like this level. Let me just start with what I like about it. Let's just be positive for 1 second here. It's cool that it's a floating city in the sky, I guess. It's cool that it explains where all the chunks, all the ruins in Limgrave and Liurnia come from, because all those chunks of building that you see all over the place are from Farum Azula. Like, yeah, it's literally crumbling, and all those bits were flung away all over the ground. So that's a cool moment in the game that you come to realize that. So that's cool. I like the architecture. It's sort of Southeast Asian, I guess, sort of Indonesian, Burmese, that kind of a vibe. Not really accurately, but you know, that's the vibe I'm getting. So that's pretty cool. That's different. Here I'm struggling a bit to figure out where to go. I did go through the area on my other character before recording, so I should have done better than this, but I didn't. Anyway, just have to run past these guys and make a left here, and we will reach the boss. You can go another way and get to the other side of the boss room, but that's worse because the Site of Grace is further away from the boss room, so you have to run for a little while, and you have to run past these banished knights, which is not fun. And also on this side you have an NPC summon, and on the other side you don't. And we will definitely summon this guy Bernal, Recusant Bernal, because yeah, this is the Godskin duo fight. As you can see, the message says try fleeing, and if only I had a friend. But yeah, this is a very difficult fight because normally it's a 2v1. You have 2 Godskins against yourself. But, you know, with the Mimic tier and the Bernal summon, you can turn the 2v1 into a 3v2, which is much better, in my opinion. Certainly much better for me. But yeah, this is quite a messy fight at the best of times because of the number of combatants involved. It's a 3v2, so it's gonna be chaotic with the AI not really knowing what to do, and also the player not really knowing what to do and who to hit and how to hit them. But yeah, I did Scarlet Rot them. Not really useful because when they die, they just die, and the rot doesn't continue. But yeah, the point of this fight is to deplete the health bar at the bottom. It seems obvious, but yeah, you don't really need to pay attention to the health bar of the individual Godskins. You need to pay attention to the health bar at the bottom, because you can have, you know, 1 hit left on the boss health bar, but the Godskin can be full health, and you only have to hit him once to win the fight, and then they automatically die. So don't get discouraged by the little health bar. Just pay attention to the big health bar. But yeah, as you can see, it does turn into a bit of a gank, because after the initial spawn, they spawn in with an offset, so they only spawn in 1 at a time. I don't know if that always happens or just because of the way I killed them on this particular occasion, but it happened this way, so so there's that. You can see my mimic tier has died, but that's fine. The boss is also almost dead, and Bernal is an absolute beast. He's only half health, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, the Godskin now does the famous attack of just rolling around. You can just sort of run away from him when he does this, and you will end up actually chasing him because of the speed differential. But yeah, that's how you deal with that attack. You just run away from him in a circle, and you end up doing a sort of a ring around the rosy situation. But yeah, he's dead, and we just have this Godskin who, with only a few hits left on the big health bar. So that's pretty cool. I do some heavy attack here, and yeah, he's dead. This is a hell of a fight if you try and go at it solo. I would not advise that, but you know, you do you. It's one of the most disliked boss fights in the game, I'm pretty sure. Certainly disliked by me, but also by the community at large. But anyway, it's done. We got a bunch of runes. We got a bunch of we got also a spell and a smithing stone bell bearing 4, which allows us to buy every type of smithing stone because we have the other ones as well. So now we can upgrade pretty much any weapon we want. We're only missing the final upgrade stone, the ancient dragon smithing stone, but you know, it would be pretty ridiculous if you could buy those as well. I wouldn't be against it, but it would be pretty ridiculous. I don't think there's a way to farm them, but you do get quite a few of them. Anyway, right now we're just going to the boss, I think. Yeah, we're going to the boss, so we need to make a right here through the small hallway and then drop down. I am missing some items over here. I don't really care. I have my weapons fully maxed out, so there's nothing really that I care about at this point in time. I'm just trying to be done with this area. But yeah, I got sidetracked because I was talking about how cool this area is. Yeah, it's cool because it explains why all those ruins are all over the place in Limgrave and in Liurnia, and I'm sure in other places as well. But that's about it as far as I'm concerned. The rest of it, you know, it's just so random how you get here and the reason why you get here. I mean, the reason why you get here is not random. You're here to get the rune of death, but the way you get here and the fact that no one tells you, like the game doesn't tell you, is pretty bad in my opinion. I mean, you can say the area is foreshadowed by those aforementioned ruins all over the place, but I don't know, it takes a while for that to click. I don't really buy that. It's such a noisy area with all the dragons and the storm. It's not a pleasant auditory experience. So I don't like that as well. I don't like the broken layout of it. It does disincentivize or discourage backtracking because you jump on these broken platforms, and more often than not you will not be able to jump back up or back up. So backtracking is not really a thing as far as I'm aware. Maybe I'm wrong, but it certainly is not encouraged by the layout of the level. I almost died here, as you can see. I got off by the skin of my teeth, so that was a bit scary, but we got through it and we reached this elevator, which brings us to another site of grace, a very famous site of grace because it is the site of grace before Malekith and before the draconic tree sentinel that guards him. So we're gonna spend a little while here, but before that I think I'd go back to Round Table Hold. Let me see. I do think I go back at some point, but let me see if I change my mind right now or later. Yes. Okay. Cool. I am going back to Round Table Hold to buy the the fourth talisman pouch, because I realized I only have 3, and I figured, well, this is a bit late in the game to still only have three talisman pouches. I don't even know how you get it. I think after you kill Morgoth, you have to come here and talk to the maiden, and she gives it to you. But if you miss that, you can just go to the twin maidens over here at the shop, and you can buy the talisman pouch for like 500 runes. Yeah, 500 runes. So that's pretty cool. And now we finally have all our talisman pouches, which is good. It might be helpful to have the full talisman setup for the rest of the game. Right now, I don't really need it. Like, I just put whatever on it because the build is not really complete yet. I'm still missing a couple of talismans, and I'm also at some point going to change the Ash of War for the Zweihander to be a damaging Ash of War as opposed to a buffing one. But yeah, I don't even remember what I throw on. I think I throw on the jump attack or the charge attack talisman. Yeah, the charge attack talisman, the axe talisman. So yeah, I now have the full talisman setup for now, and we can go and deal with the Draconic Tree Sentinel, which is guarding the entrance to Malekith. That guy. You don't have to kill this guy. You can run past him every time and just go to the boss. But I chose to kill him because the boss room is pretty cramped. Just inside you there's a narrow platform that you can fall off from, and the boss also rushes you at the beginning, and the Draconic Tree Sentinel can also hit you through the fog gate. So it's a tense moment if you run past him. So I prefer to just rot him and kill him. You do get his armor and his weapon, but that's not interesting to me. I just want him to be dead so I can fight Malekith in peace, because I do struggle with Malekith. Here I struggle to heal because I have the blue flask map to the hotbar as well, but it's fine. After you rot him, all you have to do is just stay at mid-range and bait certain attacks. Not that one, because I really suck at dodging that lightning attack, but this jumping attack is pretty easy to punish unless he does the follow-up. And the flaming attack from the horse is also... It's not easy to punish, but it's easy to avoid, so that's a blessing, I suppose. But yeah, this is why I like the Scarlet Rot, because even if you are not aggressive and you're not, quite confident, the boss is still taking damage. But here I am dying. It's very frustrating because he's almost dead, but it's fine. We can try again. We can always try again. I don't get so frustrated by dying in this part of the game because I recognize that I'm not very good at this part of the game, because I don't get here often enough. And by the time I do get here, I am quite impatient, and I just want to get it over with. I just want to finish the main story, kill all the main story bosses, so I can get the Sacred Relic Sword and farm in peace and sort of build my character as I see fit. So at this point, I just want to be done with it. Particularly with Farum Azula, I fucking hate this place. I hate the place, the level design, the bosses, everything. The way I get here, it's just I don't like it. I don't like it. So I do want to get it over with, which it's a bit of a vicious circle, because the more impatient I am, the worse I do, and the worse I do, the less I like the area. So it's a sort of a positive feedback loop in that sense, where it keeps feeding off of itself, the hatred, I mean. But yeah, I think I kill him this time. All you have to do is rot him and then sort of bait the attacks that you're most comfortable with. namely this attack, which I guess he has a follow-up to that sometimes. This is what I don't like about this. The Elden Ring bosses, they sometimes have follow-ups to attacks. They have these soft phase changes, or I don't know what you can call them, where sometimes they follow up, sometimes they don't. They're very inconsistent in that way, so I don't really like that. But what are you gonna do? You know, you can just be a bit cautious. If you're not gonna commit the time to learn their attack patterns and their movesets, you just have to sort of brute force it and make sure you kill them before they kill you. That's the gist of it, essentially. So yeah, I don't get hit here, and so I'm learning. I am learning slowly but surely. So and to think, before this is the boss before the boss. We have another boss after this one, which is even more difficult. So yeah, Farum Azula is definitely a big difficulty spike. The enemies, like the PvE, also do a lot of damage, and they don't take a lot of damage. Like, you need a fully maxed out weapon to just 2 or 3 shot them. So yeah, definitely a big difficulty spike here, which is another reason why I don't like it. So yeah, I tried to rod this guy again. I failed because there is a resistance mechanic in the game, where if you proc a status effect on someone, then next time you try to proc it, it takes more to proc it. They build a sort of a resistance or immunity to it, which is pretty cool, I guess, if a bit inconsistent again. But what are you gonna do? You know, here I'm just fighting for my life. I'm trying to heal and just survive this onslaught of lightning attacks. But finally, I kill the guy, and I celebrate. I only get what, 20,000 runes, which is not a lot. And I do get the fucking, what do you call it, the armor set, but not something I'm gonna use. That's a bit too specific for me again. So I travel back to the Grace just to recover all my shit and get ready to fight Malekith, which is another boss fight that I don't really like. He's so fast and flaily, and you know, I'm sure if you or if I learn his attack patterns, I can find openings and whatever, because you know, that's what people online say, so I can only believe them. But to me, that's not. I don't have the patience for that anymore at this point in the game. So usually when I'm at this point, I will summon another player, but I decided to just go at it just with the mimic tier for the playthrough. You know, I want this to act as a kind of a guide and a kind of a universal guide, because if I summon a player, you know, and you watch me summon a player, that's not really helpful to you, right? Like, yeah, sure, just summon a player, right? But that's too inconsistent, because it does depend on what kind of player you summon, because they can be good or they can be bad. So they can be more trouble than they're worth, and also, who knows, in the future of the game's lifespan, you might not be able to find that many people to summon. So it's a bit inconsistent on that front. That's not really true though, because even in Dark Souls 1, like there are still communities of people that can help with any of the Souls games. So you know, you will always be able to find a player to summon, I believe. But you know, as the games age, it does become more and more difficult to do that. Elden Ring is still the most recent game, so a lot of people are still playing it. But who knows, when the sequel to Elden Ring or the next FromSoft game releases, maybe that will change. Who knows? But anyway, this is the Malekith phase change. If you didn't recognize the first phase, it's the guy we give Deathroot to in Farum Azula, not in Farum Azula, in Caelid, at the end of Caelid, at the very tip of Caelid. There's a temple there, and you can feed Deathroot to that guy, and it turns out that guy is Malekith. which this guy is to Marika what Blight is to Ronnie. It's her, I don't know what you call them, her shadow, I think. These are called shadows, and they're sort of these dedicated guardians, I guess, for the Imperians or whatever the fuck these people are. But yeah, this is not gonna go well. I mean, it does go well at first because he staggers, but then I can't capitalize on it, which sucks. And then my mimic tier also died to gravity. The first phase pushed him off the ledge there, so that sucked. And then yeah, as you can see, Maliketh, the Maliketh proper, he's just really fast. He's just jumping around, and is really difficult to keep track of and to hit. If you're not familiar with his moveset, which I'm not really, but that's fine. We go again. Thankfully, we killed the Draconic Tree Sentinel before the boss, so we can go in peace and sort of take our time preparing. Not much preparation to be done, honestly, because yeah, I just fight him. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I decide before going to the boss fight, I decide to complete Alexander's questline. To get his item, because that's quite important, and I didn't want to miss out on it. And I wasn't sure if killing the boss breaks his quest line, so I thought, might as well go now before I kill the boss, just to make sure. So this is how you run to that place, to Alexander, from the Godskin Duo Site of Grace. You just go the same way as to Maliketh, except you don't take the first right through the hallway. You take the second right up these stairs, at these circular stairs, and you do need to have 2 stone sword keys on you, because you need to open one of these gates, and it does take 2 stone sword keys. So make sure you get those. And then we just get to ride this elevator up, I think. Yes, up. And then run a bit more to Alexander to finish his quest line. I don't know if people are acting or if they're just fishing for attention or something. I don't know what the deal is, but a lot of people online, you will hear them... what is the word I'm looking for? You will hear them or see them be sad about Alexander's questline. They think it's such a sad questline, and they feel so sorry and they mourn him or whatever. I don't buy that for a second. Like, with any, I think I talked about this before, with any of the From Software questlines, it's like the questline is essentially you talk to this character here, and they say some dialogue, and then they leave, and you talk to them in another place, and they say 2 lines of dialogue, and they leave, and so on. You do that like 5 times, and then they die. Essentially, that's basically how most quest lines go. So it's not like you get to really know this character and form an attachment or a connection to them. It's just, it's just talking to, I don't know, a wall or something. It's just talking to a screen or something like that, and you talk to them until you advance the questline enough, and then at the end of the questline, something happens and they die, and you get a reward, and that's it. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why people are sad about these. Like, if you think about it, yes, it's a sad questline or a sad story that Alexander, was trying to be the best warrior jar he could, and he took part in the Rodan festival, and he stuffed himself with the warriors of the Shattering, and he's still not strong enough. So yeah, now you are talking to him, and he asks you to fight him because you are his ultimate challenge, and you obviously kill him. So that's sad, I suppose, but actually, it's just, I want to finish the quest line so I can get the reward, and that's it. Like, I don't care that he dies or not. I don't care about this. maybe I'm just a stone-hearted motherfucker, but you know, I just think, you know, people are exaggerating with being sad about From Software characters and From Software quest lines because they're so impersonal, right? Like you don't have, they don't enable forming a connection or an attachment with these characters. It's like you just talk to them, talk at them, or I suppose you let them talk at you rather, because you have a silent protagonist. So they just talk at you for a while and then they die, and that's it. But anyway, we got the Shard of Alexander, which is an S tier talisman. It's one of the best talismans in the game, and it is absolutely indispensable. As you can see, it greatly boosts the attack power of skills. So yeah, if you have a damaging Ash of War, the damage you get from that will be greatly boosted by the Shard of Alexander. So it's definitely something you need for any character, essentially, and this is why I want to switch to an Ash of War that that does damage, because it's not a Braggart's Roar is not affected by the Shard of Alexander. So I do want to make use of that, but I just need to figure out which Ash of War I want. Actually, I know, it just came to mind, but I'm not gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna keep it a secret until we unlock it, which is gonna be next episode. So you don't have a long time to wait. But anyway, we upgraded our flask as well. I allocated another one to the blue flask, just to be able to cast Rotten Breath more than twice. So that will help me with Malekith. But yeah, here I try to run away from the boss, and I almost die. But I'm trying to lead him over to the center of the arena, along with the Mimic Tier, so that gravity kill doesn't happen again. Yeah, it evidently worked. And as a bonus, I also got my runes back, but I don't really care about that. But yeah, the Mimic Tier is now in no danger of being pushed off the ledge or off the edge. So I tried to rot the boss, and I think I managed it, but definitely got interrupted a couple of times. So that was suboptimal, to say the least. But I managed it with the help of the Mimic Tier. So yeah, now it's just a matter of survival. The objective is to survive until phase 2, and then of course the second objective is to survive phase 2 as well. But you know, it's just a matter of patience with this guy, and let him essentially fight the Mimic Tier and get hits in whenever I can. Luckily, it's not a hard phase change. I mean, it is a hard phase change in the sense that you get the cutscene or whatever, but it's not a hard phase change in the sense that the boss doesn't get a second health bar, I think. Yeah, it doesn't. It just keeps going from where you left off as far as the health bar is concerned, so that's pretty cool. That's a blessing, I suppose. That's the salvation of this boss fight, as far as I'm concerned, is he doesn't have a lot of health, so he is a bit of a glass cannon in that sense. But yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to avoid and play the long game and bide my time. The Mimic Tier is dead, so now it's just a matter of surviving. And as you can see, I didn't survive. Malekith is dead. I mean, I am dead by Malekith. So that was quite frustrating. And also, at this point, I don't know what happened, but my controller started or stopped working. So that's what this weird cut is all about. It just wouldn't work anymore. So that was frustrating, on top of having died to Malekith when he was so close to dying. So I was really frustrated at this point, and I was seriously contemplating summoning a player just to get it over with. But thankfully, I persisted, and went for one more attempt, which I believe I kill him now. Yeah, looking at the time, I do kill him now. So spoiler alert, I suppose. But yeah, there's no way I was gonna publish this video without killing Malekith. So yeah, uh, it's just doing the same thing as last time, except better. Just making or doing a better job of rotting the beast clergyman without getting staggered or interrupted. And I think I do that. Yes, he is rotted, so that's good. So now we have two full blue flasks or blue bars, I suppose, for rotting Malekith and sort of waiting him out, because that's what the strategy is gonna be. Once the phase change happens, I'm just gonna rot Malekith and sort of wait him out and maybe take pot shots here and there. Or I don't think they're pot shots because those are ranged, but take hits in when I can, when and where I can. But yeah, as you can see, he does a lot of fucking damage. He also has this burn effect on his hits. That was a wild flailing of the camera. But yeah, if he damages you, not only does it do damage, but he also burns your HP further, so that sucks. But yeah, as you can see, he just jumps all over the fucking place, up on pillars and whatever, so that sucks. He's very difficult to keep track of, and I almost die here again because of the burn effect, but thankfully I managed to heal that. And he's rotted, so it's just a game of patience now, just a matter of, letting him die slowly and taking no risks at all. I say that as I just go face into an attack, but what are you gonna do? I thankfully dodged that attack and I don't die. And now it's just a matter of hitting him one more time and he's dead. He is fucking dead. Fuck Malekith. Fuck the Beast Clergyman. Fuck the fucking Draconic Tree Sentinel. And fuck Farum Azula and whoever thought of this area. We're finally done with it. There is another boss in this location. Sort of a semi-secret boss. I may or may not fight him. I'm certainly not gonna fight him in this episode or anytime soon. I'm not gonna fight him before I beat the game, so it's gonna be a post-game thing if it happens at all. But yeah, this is the Rune of Death apparently, and this is what will click enable on the Elden Ring, and will allow things to die again, because this is why people keep coming back to life, is because the Rune of Death was literally taken away from the natural order, from the Elden Ring. So this is why we had to come to Farum Azula and get it. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So now we just need to watch this beautiful cutscene, which is actually, this is the first time I watch it. Usually I'm so pissed off by Farum Azula that I just skip it. I just want to see myself touch a site of grace to know I'm done with Farum Azula. But here is the Earth Tree burning. We already knew that. Burning a bit more intensely, I think, this time. But yeah, I suppose when you burn a tree, ash is produced. And that ash has to go somewhere, and evidently it will go below the Earth Tree, and here we are in a bunch of ash, and below the Earth Tree is also where the royal capital happens to be. So the Leyndell capital has been covered in ash, and we are now in the Leyndell capital of ash location, which is just a smaller version of the Leyndell Legacy dungeon, but yeah, it looks pretty epic, pretty apocalyptic. Um, but yeah, we're finally done with it. We're at Lanedale Ashen Capital. We're done with Farum Azula. All is well. So yeah, we're just gonna do this in the next episode. I'm just leveling up here, I guess. Yeah, I'm done with health. I'm at 60 vigor, so I'm just pumping it into either intelligence or endurance. I think I'm going endurance because I am lacking stamina, I noticed. So yeah, I'm definitely pumping it into endurance. Yes, there you go. But yeah, we're done with Farum Azula. I'm just using some more runes here to level up further. I think I get another level up. But yeah, next time we're gonna do the Leyndell Capital of Ash. We might beat the game actually next episode because Capital of Ash is a very short dungeon, if you can call it a dungeon at all. And we just have two more boss fights essentially. We have three. We have three more boss fights. So I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna beat the boss, the final boss next time, but we're definitely gonna be in a position to fight the final boss next time. So we're either one or two episodes away from beating the main story, and then we're gonna start with the post game and have fun with it that way. But anyway, I thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, even though we went through the shitty Farum Azula, but I do hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless. I thank you again for watching. I wish you a great day ahead of you and a goodbye.